Yo, this is B, okay? The voice of Kakuma, sponsored by Sema South Africa under Kakuma Sound, and I'm your host, Naxpo, na leo tuko na mgeni kwa program ya Elimisha Jamii. Introduce yourself.
Lam Peter.
Lam Peter.
Yes.
How are you? Unafeel aje leo?
I'm so excited to be here with you guys today actually.
Wow, okay,
Yes.
that is nice. You're so excited. To all the fans on your Konko Inje, we will be talking about education sector and opportunities in your youths wanaweza na changamoto yenye youths wanapitia hapa Kakuma, and Lam will take us through that. So Lam, what do you do? The fans are really excited kujua unafanyanga nini.
Yeah, and I'm excited to share what I do by the way. And I'm a digital marketing strategist, and I work with small businesses and brands in terms of creating for them social media strategies for growth, and also I create strategies that can generate qualifying leads. When I talk about leads, this is turning strangers into customers. Besides that, I am also a remote worker. I work online with a global organization called YEA, and I'm the director of affiliate marketing for YEA. And also in terms of community, giving back to the community, I'm a co-founder of a CBO called CHI, Civic Horizon Initiative, and we still deal with this digital literacy, and also what we do is that we help community in terms of mental, and yeah, that's what I do for now.
Wow. With those skill sets that you have, Mzee, I mean, how did you acquire them first? Like, I'm really, niko tu, see, hizo zote, ulipata.
Actually, when I first came into the digital workforce, I did not start as a digital marketer.
You started as?
Everyone that comes to digital space, you know, unapongana hiyo furaha ya ku, you know, you want to have a title. And when we first come in, we think that maybe zile titles zenye zinaweza to the one that can actually build us are the ones that have jargon names. When I mean jargon names, namaanisha zile zenye ziko na big names like web developer, software engineer, and all those things. So I started as a graphic designer. That first time I went to Don Bosco, nikasema nataka nisome computer. I was to enroll for a computer basic, and nikapata basic imejaa, so I had to enroll for a 1-year program nisome hiyo course mzima. So when I went into the course, I have been through social media, so mimi najua watu wana earn money through social media management, email marketing, graphic design, and I had not even seen other skill. The only skill that I had was content creation, because when TikTok was booming in 2020, really it was the first time I actually created a video. So I was that guy of a content creator, but on the other side, sikuwa na any skill. So they used to teach us like the basic Microsoft Office softwares like Excel, Access, Microsoft Word, na hizo stuff. But I was like, when they launched a digital skill hub, they said, no, I want to be learning. Apart from this class of mine, because I used to go for 3 hours, I used to extend. So nilikuwa nashinda shule half of the time, like from morning until mid-morning, niko nasoma hizi Microsoft and the basic computer operation. And the other half, I used to spend it on the digital lab, learning these digital skills. So nilikuwa na watch tutorials za YouTube, checking out, I learned graphic design, and I went on and on until, today we are into other skills, but I started it with graphic design. You know, coming from a background that, we have like less electricity, we have less power and everything, but when I went to Don Bosco, I was like, you know, I'm going to be focusing on full-time on learning the skills, and I didn't know where I'm going to end up, but that's how my journey into this digital space began.
Wow, okay. I mean, na umetupeleka from where you started. Okay, ulimaliza high school lini?
Nilimaliza high school in not long ago. Nilimaliza high school 2023.
2023,
Yes.
Time ya corona.
Yeah, after corona. Yes,
yeah.
after corona.
Yeah, the challenges.
And the challenges was like I actually dropped out of school.
Okay,
I dropped out of school when I was in Form 1.
Whoa.
So came back to school in Form 3.
Form 3.
That was in 2022, and then you can register for Form 4. Yeah. So it was after dropping out of school.
Okay. What made you to drop out of school? I'm really curious. Okay, what happened?
Dropping out of school. When Corona came, by the way, that is, I went to Uganda. So I spent like almost a year. I was not at school, because of the quarantine and everything. And when we have been idle for that 1 year, nikiwa Raimani nilikuwa chopi. In primary school I was nilikuwa chopi mbaya. So after going to high school, unajua hiyo gap of being at home and then being at school. I moved from Uganda, Kampala, I came back to Kenya. So nilipelekwa shule inaitwa Hospital Hill High School, iko Nairobi. So when I went to that school, already nilikuwa nishazoea hii maisha ya vijana nini. So when I went to the school, I had met bad friends. So nilikuwa na bad influence mbaya sana. So sikuwa na consider shule na nini na hizo stuff. So there was this one time we actually sneaked out of school. Unajua tulikuwa tunaenda tao, mnafanya tu vitu za street huko. And after sneaking out of high school, unfortunately mimi ndo nilipatikana and nilipigwa X. With the family, unajua wamejaribu their best taking you to a very good school and then una mess up. It was an extra county school, which is a very good school. So walisema, what will happen when kama umekata shule. So I had a lot of excuses. Mimi amukunipeleka shule mapema, but unfortunately they never bought that. So what they did, they told me to move from Nairobi to Nikae Kakuma, and I was like, now this is freedom. Maybe I don't kurudi shule, why should I go back to school and everything? So when coming to Kakuma, I tukaanza hii maisha ya youths.
Ulikuja Kakuma lini?
I came to Kakuma my first time coming to Kakuma, it was in 2010.
2010.
Yes, that was the first time I stepped in Kakuma.
Oh, I thought maybe you were born in Kami and the challenges before.
Oh, yeah. Not really. I wasn't born in Kakuma. I was born in Sudan and got the privilege of coming here before the war started.
Alafu sasa, okay, after sasa vile your parents walipeleka back, then walisema huko school for all of that. So, okay, how was it? Did you adapt to Kakuma easily? Ama ulianza aje to the story?
Yeah, that's a very good question, by the way. So I've spent my life a quarter in Kakuma, and most of it I had the privilege of spending it in Dauni. And when I came to Kakuma, so it was the same guys I met, like when I first stepped in 2011, 2012, 2010. The first guys that I was with when we were kids, and now they have transitioned to another life of streets. And there's this, when you're at a point of where there is problems and trauma, so there's this wave that comes that unajaribu to escape the reality. So what made me go into the streets is because I had pressure and I was experiencing some childhood traumas, and so I needed a way to escape them, going to the parties, kicking in, kukabezi na majamaa na nini na hizo stuff. So I thought maybe that was the best way to escape from the reality. So when I came, they were the same friends I grew up with. I saw them in the streets. I thought maybe they had the best life, and yeah, since nimetoka chuo nilikuwa nisha experience hizo, I was like, now this is the bad game. So everyone now nimekuja mtaa, kumbe alisema street pia. So unajua kuna vile unakuwa sasa you're now the bad gang.
Yeah.
Everyone want to chill out with, unajua wanasema tena umetoka Dauni and all those stuff. So that's how I ended up in that life, and it did not go very well because I had missed years maybe of being school. And through all that process, I almost lost my life in the streets, by the way.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
What happened?
I had learned the best, like it was the worst experience of my life and also the best experience of my life.
Okay.
In what way actually? Okay. I was that guy of mina napenda kukaa overnight time. I like when going to the parties, we stay overnight and everything. So you know, consuming these substances, actually they undermine your health in terms of physical and mental health. So you know, spending the night, you are not getting enough sleep, and also, you know, you are not working, so you are just surviving. You get something, you put it into the street life of consuming these substances, drugs. So I was at a point whereby, you know, I had friends. I'm a person who is, I would say I'm not that much privileged, but I also call it a blessing, because when I go out to look for something, I'm always getting it from one. So I had friends, they, you know, who tembea kwenda all these kind of places. Unajua ku experience life ya Dauni, life ya Uganda. I've been to Ethiopia, Addis Ababa. I've been to Juba, I've been to Khartoum. So, you know, moving around there, there's something that I saw in these cities that I was moving in. So when I came to this environment, I was a bit, you know, I've seen another life apart from this. So I had friends who thought that I was different based on how I was moving with them and all of that stuff. And you know, I always have that chance of nikienda nje kutafuta. I'm always getting something. So I come with something. I try to impress my friends. I'm like, you know what? Leo form nimejipa tumendi na kosi and all that. But at my lowest time, I realized that no friend was there. Actually, I was at home. Everyone, my sister, who is our guardian, was responsible, moved to Nairobi. The rest of the family members were in Sudi, so I was home alone. And after that, you know, when ukiwanakitu, the friends are there, and at your lowest point, the friends are not there. So my friends left me when I was at my very, very lowest point, and I'm like, I did everything for my friends to impress them and do all of this stuff. But right now, I'm the one who is yani menigonga kabisa, unajua ile point. You don't know where to run to or who to run to. So that's where I made up my mind, and I'm like, you know what? I let this life go. You know, it's all I call it bullshit. It's all bullshit. Wacha hiyo maisha iende. And that's how I kept picking up myself. So I went back to Juba in 2023. Went back to Juba, spent almost 1 year there, and came back in 2024. So my whole transformation journey was that I have to move out of this noise, move out of this environment, and try to go back to my old self, whereby I can think, not because of the influence of the friends, but I can think for myself to do something. So I went to South Sudan, met the same friends I had left here.
So through your story yote nimesikia saizi like umepitia challenges mengi, so what made you quit that street life so far? Ni nini, like what happened? Really happened ukaamua to change for the man that you are right now, and kama uko proud of the man that you are right now, maybe tueleze direct chapie.
Yeah, that's a very good question. First of all, before I answer this question, what really took me to the streets? And I think what really took me to the streets was lack of identity. You know, when you are not aware of yourself and you are trying to run from the reality, that is one thing that you can get yourself. You're not trying to escape from the reality. There is something that you can run to that maybe inaweza kuwa worse than the reality. So I wasn't accepting my reality, and I tried to use some things to distract myself. When it clicked was that I had this whole bunch of friends. They lived with their parents, their families, and everything. And when I looked at my situation, is that my life and their life was different because I was living to impress them. When hard times came, I used to go through them alone. But during my best moments, I had my friends all around. So, and that is also one thing that made me really realize myself. And I was like, why should I continue in this if at the end of the day, these people have people to run to and I'm left all alone? And that's when it clicked. And when it clicked, I remember I was you know, we don't live with direct parents, so I was living with my uncle. And my uncle, the advice he gave me is that, you said you want to change, you know, unajua lazima kuna sifa mbaya. Kwa hizo vitu zenye mnafanya kwa street. Watu wanajulikana. In the community watu wanajulikana. Unajua directly wewe kazi yako ni nini. So, when that happened, he told me, you know what, you can change, but it is not change Kabula. I went to Nairobi for the first time since Vita Ianze. I had never met my dad. So for the first time in tuna meet, and he was like, "Mimi nimesikia stories zako, and I know you wouldn't have done them yourself. I know very well kuna ma friends that they're influencing you, but I want to ask you only one question. Don't you have the mouth to say no? Wewe ukienda bash, ukienda nightclubs, or ukienda hizi kwa hizi mabase and you're using these substances or the drugs, kuna mtu anakushikanga mkono and they force you." And I was like, maybe someone else is driving my life, because you are supposed to be the driver of your own life. Maybe someone else is in the driver's seat of my own life, and I'm in the rear seat, and I'm watching my life being driven towards a point whereby unajua unaangalia driver anaendesha kwa cliff na wewe mwenyewe unajua kudrive. You'll do something to stop the driver. But now the car was just moving. That is my life, but I was not able to. So when I realized all this and I said, you know what, I started telling my friends, no, wanakuja mtaa, lam, naambia me. And I did not tell them directly that I'm quitting all of this. I just came up with excuses. You know, I'm not feeling well, leo siendi nje. And they saw how my life was actually changing, that sikuwa kwa hizo moods tena. So that's when I got the wake-up call that I was not really driving my life. The friends and the substances I was using, they're the ones who were in charge of my life. And I wanted to be fully in charge of my life. So I had to come back, accept the reality, and embrace the reality, right? And from there, you know, the change has not been easy.
Yeah, I mean, struggles through changing from street to a co-founder, yo man, a graphic designer. I mean, you are all set right now. I mean, like you have the whole set. Anyway, do you regret, like so far? Do you have any regret of the decision you made along the way, or are you proud of the man you are right now?
That's an incredible question. You know, when you're in the streets, there's a lot of things that you do to try to be happy. By the way, and I realized that, you know, when I'm out with my boys, you know, we have our ladies there, you know, we have money, we are rocking, and do come a form. But after you have enjoyed, you come back home to your own place. Now everyone has departed, the enjoyment has finished. The emptiness, you are looking for happiness, for joy and all that. But after coming home, you feel that heavy emptiness. And I'm like, what am I doing? Right? I remember when I do not have any certificate apart from my primary school certificate and my birth certificate. And I almost lost my life in that process. You know, the substances were very heavy. So I was so overweight. You know, it was just not. It was a very ridiculous moment of my life. And what hit me is that if I was to die today, what will I leave behind? Who will mention my name, and how will they mention my name? So I don't regret changing. Yes, I had a lot of friends. Some of them I thought they were real friends, but they were never real friends. And you know, moving now, transitioning from that life to the other one, there's a lot of things that you're going to live along the way. You know, the parties, you know, the moments you're sitting with your boys, idling around and everything. It was tough, but actually I love the way my life is going. I don't have any regret on the life that I had to go through. But I was like, it is necessary. And I think what led to this, you know, wanasemanga, there are some things they taught us at school. Yes, school kuna vitu mingi walitufunza zenye si relevant kwa maisha. But there are some things that were relevant. Wanasemanga asiyefunzwa na mamaye atafunzwa na ulimwengu. So my mom left me when I was 8 years. So we were in an accident with her. I survived, but she never did, right? And that is the trauma that has been chasing me all along. So I had learned most of these things until the person I've become today from the street. The street has made me stronger. It has made me have a life of experience, but I had a decision to make. Yes, I had to go through that, but I have a decision to make. So I don't regret going through that process, but I embrace it, and I take, it reaches somewhere whereby everything in life, the reason that we said we are in this situation because of this, actually, there are no valid reasons, only excuses. So
Yeah.
I had to make an excuse or make the right decision. So I don't regret any of that.
Okay, if I mean, it is really good we have heard that, and sorry for your loss. I mean, from that transition, the pain, like now. If your mother was alive right now, would you think she would be proud of what you did, like from translating from that to
Yes.
where you are right now?
Yes. Probably all my life, and even what made me change is that every step that I take in life, I'm like, if my mom was here today, will she be proud? And not just being proud of me, will she be proud of what the community is saying about me? That is what I always ask. And that is why most of the things I do them for the community. So will she be proud of what people are saying about me and what she's seeing in me? So that is what has been guiding my decision. Yes, so if she was here today, probably, I think I am not where I'm supposed to be, but she will be proud of the man I am.
Okay, what is the best quote like to go with so far from your life to now? That thing that keeps on motivating you to wake up every day. I mean, like there's something that you have, like you wake up onto. I mean, you can't just like come to be a co-founder or something. I mean, something that inspires you to help out, or something that inspires you. Every day you have to get up, get the job done. I mean, how do you do it? Like, or what motivates you?
I remember one of the quote which is very, very strong, and I take it until now. And the quote was like, you are the co-author of your life, right? The author of your life is God, and you are the co-author of your life. And everything would change based on decision, right? And it says this, stop making excuses and take the right decision. You are the driver of your own life, right? You're the driver of your own life. Don't give the other person the driver's seat. Because if you do that, they will not take your life as it's supposed to be. Number two, make those decisions. Make the right decisions. Your decision doesn't have to be influenced by society. It doesn't have to be driven by impressing people. But if it was to be taken to a contest, will it be validated? Will it be valid? And will you be proud of it? So I always say I'm the driver of my own life, and I don't give anyone the driver's seat. Yes.
Okay. Lam must take us through what inspired him, which is good. I mean, I've learned something from you right now, and literally, I think I'll take that quote. I mean, I'm a co-founder. I'm a co-founder of Blue Peak, and I think right now you're a big inspiration as a part of Kakma and the voice of Kakma. I mean, okay, let's go to the educational sector. How did you find out about these digital skills that you have right now? Okay, like where did you get them? There is a kid that is watching right now. He doesn't know where to start. He doesn't know what to do after high school. You know, you see most kids on their home when you are nyumbani saizi. Wanamaliza shule, they get into drugs, they don't know what to do. Okay, like how do you want them to be? Like, okay, which kind of steps should they take after high school? Or in the upper, they do this and do this to be more of like you. I mean, right now you're a role model to a kid who's watching. And we kid maybe ako misplaced somewhere, kuna group yenye imepeleka hapa na hapa. Kuna ama maybe kuna mwenye amemaliza high school and najui ni nini anafaa kufanya. I mean, can you please advise us about that, your mambo, digital digital skills and where they can find it, wanaweza pata wapi, au wenye wana watch saizi, yeah, those youths wenye wako Kakuma. Yeah.
No, it's so fascinating when someone tells me there are no opportunities in Kakuma. And I always wonder. I'll talk specifically to these youths in Kakuma, right? I got all of these opportunities in Kakuma, not outside. When I was busy in the streets, I actually moved away from this environment and tried to put some things together. But Kakuma was always on my mind. Before, education was free, back then. In Don Bosco, you don't pay any amount. That was back then. I was there when education was free, when people were registering for free. You could study any course, literally, for years, and you get a professional certificate. I was there. But what happened is this. Because of the life that I have been through, because of the distractions that I put myself in, because of the poor decisions that I made, I never saw the opportunities. And when I came back to Kakuma, I was like, I'm going to change. You know, when I went back to South Sudan, you know, because of the instability and the civil war, so there are no opportunities there. If you are not qualified in a certain field, you don't get some. And also, I don't have like a rich family that maybe I could just go in, and so life was very hard there. And I was like, one reason why life is hard for me is that I did not learn a skill when I was coming here. So I then realized that in Kakuma they used to give a lot of trainings. There is education, the institution that is there, that anyone could just go in and enroll, right? Even with a primary certificate, they used to accept you. And when I came back, I was specifically, I want to learn a skill. I'm not going to impress the community, I'm not going to impress my friends, but what I'm going to do is that I will be true and real to myself. So there are a lot of opportunities, but the youths don't want to go and look for the opportunities. We are distracted because of the shortcuts in life. We think that we get anything very easy. I'll give you one challenge, right? You are waiting for your country to be at peace. It doesn't matter where you come from. But you are a refugee with us in Kakuma. And you wait for your country to be at peace. My question to you is this. If today your country become peaceful, what are you going home with? What are you going to put on the table? Yes? And until you figure this out, this is what will keep you. Because we are not here permanently. But we are here to learn something and maybe go back home and use the same skill that you have to build our country, to build our home, right? And if you don't learn the skill right now, in Kakuma there are a lot of facilities that offer. Sometimes they're even free skills. I did not start with having a machine maybe to access these skills. I started it from my phone. I was learning graphic design from my own phone. How many youths are having phones outside here, but they're not using them to learn a skill? I used Pixel App, I used PixArt to learn graphic design. I also use CapCut, the one for mobile, to edit videos. And all of it, I got it from YouTube. You don't have to make excuse of an institution. The biggest thing right now is that people are not hiring you for certificates. They hire you for the skill. What are you able to do, right? So get something that you can be able to do. Something that could solve a problem. You know, they say, if right now you have 100 of certificates, and you put them in a house, and the house is on fire, you know, you might get some of the certificates, and some of the certificates may never be retrieved. But when you have a skill that is within you, nothing can take it away, right? So in Kakuma, there are a lot of opportunities. Let us not give excuses, because the stories that we actually tell ourselves are limiting us. Yes? The stories that we tell ourselves are limiting us. Apart from Don Bosco, right now I'm no longer in Don Bosco. I'm studying computer science, associate degree online at University of People. That is number one. Number two, I'm building a career using professional courses on Coursera. I'm not able to pay for Coursera. there are NGO funds that are online there that you can apply for using your own ID, using your own manifest, and you can be able to access these courses and build a career from there. So if you have a smartphone or you have a laptop, you don't have any reason to give an excuse. Yes.
Okay, wow. Really appreciate you for giving them advices and where to start up. I mean, me too. I'm not that lost. I mean, I have a skill which is data analysis, and mimi mse who listen to podcasts na skianga motivational stuff so far, and kwa vitu zangu zote mi put God and skills za kufind na kutafuta. Pia nataka nikuwe youth advocate for skills pia, and kama kuna kijana mwata watch, stop being idle. Stop being idle. That is what I can give out. Like, stop being idle. Hiyo ni kitu naweza ambia kijana usikue idle. Like, be you, don't impress, and do what you can do. As we come to an end, naweza taka upeane advice to any kid or anybody that is in Kakuma right now, watching and listening to this podcast. Si majuu tu ndio utapata hizi vitu ziko within us, and can you please, as we wind up, wape one last advice.
If you have a smartphone, a smart device, that's a tool. You have internet, okay, that's your school, that's your university. Use that tool to learn a skill. Start with what you have, don't worry about what you don't have. The internet has connected you to the global market. So, also, it has to be intentional. If you don't make the decision and you keep making excuses, time goes. So, if time goes, we are winding up, so I wanted to say this. I'm actually building a digital agency, digital marketing agency. And right now where I am at, I'm building the foundation. I'm from Kakuma, where there's less opportunities, less electricity and everything, but also I see big opportunity in there. And I'm actually building a digital agency, and also if you have a dream, it is possible. It doesn't matter. Don't let your environment dictate you. Yes.
To anyone that wants to mwenye anaweza taka reach out to connect with you, and how would they get you? Watakupata aje? To anyone mwenye anakuwatch saizi.
Yeah. So I'm a very accessible guy on social media, and I use LinkedIn a lot, so I'm always active there. You can find me at Lampita, and also on Facebook. I just recently deactivated my Facebook, but it's going to be active anytime. I'm Lampita Tut on Facebook. I'm also on TikTok. You can reach out to me at Lampita Tut, and also on Instagram you can find me at Lampita.
For all the stories, if you want to hear more stories about success and real stories with real impact, you can follow us on all our social media platforms and tune in to get more. VOK, the voice of Kakuma.